Good morning, boys and girls. We're going to talk about this gun right here, the Atlas Athena. I don't think this review is going to shock anyone, um, but, I said I would do it. I've put 10,000 rounds through this pistol now, and TLDW on this one is it's pretty obvious to me why this pistol is, in a lot of people's opinion, it's the tool for the job for USPSA or limited optics division or other sorts of competitive shooting types of things. Um, you know, if you're into 2011s, it's not that this is the best one. It's just Atlas is, a big enough brand that there's enough supply out there. And this is, in my opinion, an impeccably built 2011. Now, yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's not for everyone. But at the same time, the people that this gun is for, yeah, it makes sense why. I mean, to be honest, I see a lot of Atlas pistols. Typically, I see Athenas in class, and yeah, it's obvious why after getting one and shooting 10,000 rounds through it. Now, let me talk you through it. This is a 4.6-inch 2011. Now, there are some options if you order one, how you have it built. There's different mag wells, different trigger shoes. You can have some different things done with the grip. You can have different optic screws or plates or whatever, so you can mount pretty much anything you want on it. And you can get different finishes. But this is basically the standard one that you're going to see, or at least the one that I see. This is the smaller magwell that's available. The trigger shoe here is medium flat. The grips, which I think are pretty aggressive in terms of the texture, mine are sanded down, so they're not as aggressive. And then the optic mounting hardware that was sent to me was for the Holosun 507 comp. Like I said, the pistol's basically impeccably built, and it's still a 2011 in terms of its nature. Like, it doesn't change the nature of the beast, right? It's not like, oh, you shoot 100,000 rounds and it'll never break. I don't think that's going to happen. It's not like the pistol's entirely perfect, no, but it's about as good of a 2011 as you're going to have built. That is basically my opinion on it. Now, let me talk you through it as far as the features. So, like I said, the grips I have here were sanded down slightly, so they're not as aggressive as the standard Atlas Athena. I have to say that's one complaint I have with the gun. It beggars belief a little bit how they send these things out normally. They're just, in my opinion, uncomfortable. Uncomfortable doesn't really cover it. Like, I can't shoot the fucking thing all day long or train with it all day long with the standard grips. They're just too much. It really hurts my hands, shooting 1,000 or 1,500 rounds through it. Now, that's not normal users that do that. That would be me. So I had these sanded down, and I'm very, very happy with them. I have to say, it's much more comfortable. One other feature that's on here is there's panels in the grips that you can change to different things. I'll commonly see like a step grip. I don't have one with me to show you, but it's like a really a tall, like maybe this tall, like a step here that'll pop the gun out or like pop the grip out a little bit. It makes it easier to make contact with it. I very commonly see people using those step grips. I have to be honest, I don't really like them. I like my grip shape to be very regular and even. I don't really like the irregular shaped grips, but again, it's a panel in here so you can configure it the way that you want to configure it. The trigger shoe is one of the options you have if you have one built for you, which I'm told the lead time right now is 18 months. I can kind of see why they don't build them that fast. It's an 18-month lead time to get this thing, to get this trigger shoe, or I'm sorry, to have it built. This one has a medium flat trigger shoe. The trigger shoe, in my opinion, is like a fitment thing. You can go short, medium, long, different shapes, all of that. And it's a little bit adjustable beyond that. This is just what I went with, medium, flat. Now, One thing that you'll notice that's different to the normal 2011s is there's no grip safety back here. The grip safety is a little bit pointless if you ask me. So they don't have it on here. There's no way, you don't have to pin it. There's no way it can interfere because it's not there. One other Atlas thing that I really like is this big paddle safety. So there's options you can have here. I think the most common option that I'll see is a paddle safety that has a big shield on it. I don't make contact with the slide when I'm shooting the gun, so the paddle is a little bit pointless. I don't really like having it, so I don't have it. Or sorry, the shield. But it's a big paddle here, and you can see it. It doesn't have as much range of motion, I think, as a standard 2011 safety. The difference to me is this safety setup requires no conscious effort or thought, whereas a standard 2011 setup that you might see, well, that you'll typically see on other brands, it's a smaller safety, and to me, it sometimes requires that I have to be careful, make sure I get my thumb on the safety so I can actuate it while I'm shooting the pistol. That to me just seems like a big, big win. It's much, much better. Now, one other thing about the pistol, it's DLC'd, I believe, in-house at Atlas. The coating on the gun is, in my opinion, impeccable. It's really difficult to find fault with it. It's the most rugged finish that I've used or seen on a pistol. As you see here, this pistol, like I said, it has more than 10,000 rounds on it. And looking at the finish, it really doesn't look it. I did clean the gun up before recording this, but it doesn't, I mean, it holds up really well. It is as good as the staccato finish is, and I think the staccato pistols are pretty good. This gun, it's much, much better. It blows that stuff out of the water. In terms of how nice the finish is, like you don't even see any on the barrel here. You don't even see any evidence, really, that the pistol's been fired at all. Over the course of shooting this gun, there was no malfunctions, no issues, no hiccups. You do have to, I mean, it's best to keep it clean. It's best to lubricate it, which I've done that. But it didn't malfunction at all. It's been impeccable. It's been really, really nice. The only issue that I've had with the gun, take a look at the front sight here. It's kind of drifted over in the notch a little bit. It has not stayed in place. And that is slightly annoying, but at the same time, I'm using an optic, so I don't really give a shit about the front sight. I just noticed like, oh, it drifted over there at some point. That's too bad. If I was using that, that would be a problem. And I'll probably get a pin punch and like knock that thing back into place at some point. All up, you can see why like this is the most common high dollar 2011 that I see. It's again, it's an impeccably built pistol, good warranty, really, really nice. Of course, it's expensive as fuck, and you're gonna wait for it if you order one. Those are the downsides. But I mean, like I said, it's difficult to find fault with the gun. It's reliable. It's accurate as fuck. The trigger is sick. It's like 1 3/4 pounds maybe, like little take up here, firm wall, press on through. It's as racy as a trigger can be before I'd get to where I was like, hey, I don't like this. I don't have feel for what I'm doing, or it just becomes unreliable. Like I said, this example has been utterly impeccable, which, that'd be why you're buying it. All right, now I did put out a feeler on Instagram, posting a picture of the gun. Hey, I crossed 10,000 rounds. Give me your questions on it. So I'm going to go through the Instagram post and take your questions. What's your maintenance routine on it? That's a good question. So I'm the type of guy that I'll shoot a gun really hard for like a week, then I might let it sit for some period of time where I'm like doing other things, traveling other places, shooting other guns. So when I pull this gun out of storage, I'll look it over, maybe field strip it, make sure it's lubricated. I'm kind of like status checking it and seeing like, all right, where is this thing at? If it's reciprocating nicely, I'm like, yeah, it's lubed, it looks good. No, let's take it out and shoot it. Every 1,000 rounds or so, I'll just field strip it, take the slide off, wipe the pistol down with I use Rem oil, but the finish is good, so I just wipe the crap off the slide rails, wipe the crap off the feed ramp on the barrel, for example. Like just basically field strip it and wipe the shit off of it, and then put it back together. That is the maintenance routine. You do that every 1,000 rounds or 2,000 rounds. I haven't had any problem. If I was actively competing with the pistol, I would status check it like that before a match and make sure that it's okay. At about the 8,000 round mark, I pop the extractor out of it, which it's a standard 2011. It's pretty easy to do that. Took the firing pin out, took the extractor out, put a Q-tip in the firing pin channel, Q-tip down the extractor channel, cleaned off the extractor. There wasn't too much crud built up on it. I basically was just status checking it, seeing how it looked. And I think I was doing one of my other 2011s at the same time. So while I had it out, I'm like, I'll just take a look at this one right now. And that is basically what I would do for maintenance. At about 10,000 round intervals, I think you want to take a look at the grip and the whatever, the sear spring and all that other crap in there. There's other pins and stuff that need to come out to maybe detail strip the lower. Again, actively competing with the gun, I would do that about every 10,000 rounds. I have not done that yet on this particular gun. All right, next question. Can you observe the slide stop pin to see if there's any noticeable impacting on it? I've seen this on 2 Atlas guns with a sign of improperly cut lower lugs. Curious if that's consistent across the board or if they've resolved it. Yeah, I took a look at the pin. I can't see anything on it. I don't know precisely what I'm looking at. I'm not an expert in that way, but I don't see any evidence of what you're asking about. If I buy it, will it make me start winning local matches? I think we both know that the answer to that is no. I really wouldn't recommend this to somebody that's not super serious and, practicing a lot and all up into competitive shooting. Just, it's like you could shoot a bunch of other guns and have basically the same amount of fun. This thing is just super high dollar. And if you're not using it, that way, then, whatever. Let's see what else we got here. Another maintenance question. Aside from the fit and finish, what do you gain spending money on something like the Atlas versus other 2011 in the $2,000 to $3,000 price range? It's a pretty fair question. What I find is that the trigger is both light and reliable, which is, unless you're doing it yourself, like I think in that price range, I just haven't seen a trigger that is the same as this. The other thing is the way that the gun reciprocates is crazy. It's both fast and balanced, and it returns right back to center. The Athena is a little bit more aggressive, I would say. It's like a little snappier than other 2011s, but the return to center is like, it's impeccable. Again, it's not that it's soft. It comes right back. Let's see what else we got. What's the major difference you notice between the 5-inch Titan and the 4.6 Athena? Is the 0.4 of barrel slide length actually noticeable, or is it a gimmick? No, it's noticeable. You can tell the difference. This gun's noticeably more, I'd say, more violent, and it feels faster. But again, in the realm of guns, it's not very violent, and it is super fast. My preference between the two, I think, is the 5-inch Titan, but it's 0.4. There's not much in it. And depending on what you do with the spring setup and the ammunition that you're using, I'm pretty sure like you would get either gun basically where you'd want it to go. And you would be happy with either if, this is the sort of thing that you wanted. All right. Mostly interested in reliability. This has had no issues with this gun. It's really nice. Would you pick the Titan or Athena for USPSA? Personally, I would take the Titan. I just like it. It's like a little less violent. So at distance, at 20, 30, 40 yards, I like it better. I like the Athena a little bit better up close just because there's less gun there. So you can kind of swing it around more. But again, there's not much in it, guys. There's just not much in it as far as the difference. Does it work with Rem oil? Absolutely, it works with Rem oil. Absolutely, because if it didn't work with Rem oil, it wouldn't work, because I'm a Rem oil guy. Pretty loyal customer there. All right, would you get this or the MPA Masterpiece arms? I don't have an MPA gun, so I haven't shot one like as hard as the Atlas stuff. The MPA stuff seems nice to me. I mean, I've fucked around with them. I mean, I don't know which is better. Whatever. I think again, there's not a whole lot in it between those things. They're both high dollar 2011s from reputable builders that are in the kind of competition space. You'd probably be happy with either, to be honest. But I don't know. Have you tried the different size or shape grip panels? Yeah, I don't like the irregular shaped grip, so I don't use that shit. Um, have you had feeding problems with the Atlas magazines as the tolerances seem critical to proper function? I'm afraid to let mine hit the ground as this has invariably leads to feeding problems. No, I mean, I haven't had any issues with magazines. I do have some Atlas magazines, which I use, no issues. I do have a set of staccato magazines that I typically use with my 2011s, and they work really well. I have not done much with them or changed anything. Does it come with a free autofellatio coupon? No, I don't think so. That would be interesting if that's what you're into. What holster are you using for your setup? I'm using I think it's from Long Shadow, which is now out of business, but it's just a Long Shadow Kydex pouch. I don't use race holsters. I don't really like them. Um, do you feel more or less gay after 10,000 rounds? I feel the same amount of gay. Let's see what else we have here. How is the trigger changed, if at all, over the course of 10,000 rounds? Oh, that's a good question. I haven't noticed a difference. It's not, there wasn't really a wear in that I noticed. I haven't noticed a change. Maybe it changed, but not in a way that I noticed. All right. Do you feel there's a break-in period out of the box, or has it performed better or worse as round count elevates? I noticed no break-in period. The gun seems the same, start to finish. I mean, it makes sense. The finish hasn't worn down, so it's like I don't think it has broken in. Um, hmm, how important are those slide cuts and ports? I don't really know. I mean, they say that they've done mathematical things to get the slide the correct weight. To me, it reciprocates nicely, and I like the way the gun feels when I shoot it. Is it worth the price point compared to cheaper 2011s? Look, if this is your thing, yeah. Like, here's a good example. Like Staccato P versus this, like all day long, I would take this all fucking day long. Now, is it worth the money? Well, I don't know. Like, it's thousands of dollars, and it's not like you're just getting a slightly different, shooting dynamics. I'd say I like the reciprocation better. I like the trigger better. I like the safety way better. I like the grip better. At this point, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the gun that I would pick. It doesn't really make much difference how much more money it is. It is worth it because I would rather shoot it. And being if I'm being timed and we're scoring it, I'll do better with this one. How much better? Not that much, but it's better. Does the price tag reflect the performance? No, the performance is coming from the shooter. But it's like, to me, if I'm buying a very well built, impeccably built thing that's hand fitted by smart people with a good warranty, like, to me, it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're getting what you pay for, in my opinion. Like, again, compared to other offerings in the 2011 space, I believe, yeah, you get what you pay for. But again, you're paying a shitload. All right, somewhere out there, someone's bothered you have a Holosun on a 2011 that costs X money. Yeah, I mean, price aside, the Holosun's just fine with me. Like, I don't give a shit about that. Like, it does what I want it to do. I'm happy with it. I would shoot Holosun. Don't care. Obviously I could put whatever I wanted on there. Holosun's good to go if you ask me. Having got to know it, would you buy another one if this one for some reason fell into the T2 molten metal pit? Well, I would buy another one if I had like a use for it. Like, oh, I'm gonna shoot it at this event. Yeah, I would buy another one. Um, have you pulled the extractor out to clean the channel and inspect the extractor tension? I didn't inspect the tension. I just cleaned the channel. Um, okay. Here's a good trolling one. Hard to believe the SIG P211 is already proven to be 6 times more reliable than this gun. Yeah, that is hard to believe. It's impossible to believe, really. But many idiots will believe it. Will you send it in for the factory recommended 10,000 round service? Maybe I'll do it myself. Maybe send it to them. I don't know. Probably I will. I mean, probably I will. I'm pretty lazy. Where, if at all, do significant differences show up between guns like these and Fowlers and Nighthawks, etc.? So shooting like the Sandhawk, it's a Cerakoted, like the Nighthawk, like the Sandhawk's one that I've fucked around with. It is Cerakoted. It is not even on the same level. The trigger's not the same. Like I would never buy that shit. Never. Like not even comparatively. Like I just wouldn't be interested in it. I mean, they could cut the price in half. I wouldn't buy it. Like I wouldn't. It's like no, fuck that gun. That's how it compares to in my head. Like just not thinking about it too hard. Just shoot it a little bit. Like don't think about it too hard. It's like I would never buy that. The Sandhawk, if that makes any sense. The Fowlers I don't know about. To add a pretty unanimous request comparing the shooting experience to the Staccato P and why you think the experience is different. Slide fit, barrel fit, timing, spring balance, internal differences like the disconnector, rail, and disco. Um, I think it's just the way the gun reciprocates is most of it. Well, it's a racier trigger that's fitted very nicely, so the trigger's lighter and better, cutting the grip safety out of the mix. For a lot of people, that'll make them happy. The safety is way easier to deal with compared to the Staccato P. I don't think there's really a noticeable difference in terms of the mechanical accuracy of the guns. Both guns are reliable, if you ask me. But really, the Athena reciprocates like a motherfucker compared to the Staccato P. Okay, do you prefer a softer, slower recoil impulse? Or do you prefer a faster, snappier impulse with a fast, perfect return to zero? I like the second thing. Will it make my Peter look bigger? Probably will make your dick look smaller, especially next to the gun, but I don't know. I don't know your dick. All right. Noticeable difference between it and the Staccatos. I have an XC, but I'm in the market for a full-size non-comp 2011. Yeah, so the XC shoots soft. It shoots well. This has a noticeably better trigger, which isn't a huge deal because the XC is really good. Like I said, I like the safety a lot better, but it's way, way better balanced than the XC in terms of like how it returns to zero. My XC is soft, but it's slushy. It'd be like, and then it kind of like wobbles. It has this wobble to it when it returns. So actually, I have less confidence with it at distance because I feel like I'm waiting for the gun to stabilize if I'm shooting something really small. I mean, this is minutia to most people, to be real. It's minutia, but the Atlas stuff, it's like it snaps, it's right back. It returns. And then I'm not waiting for the sight to stabilize. The sight will come back and stabilize, and the discipline shifts to me making sure that it's aimed exactly where I want it. So kind of like, I feel like it flips it onto me where instead of me waiting on the gun to stabilize, I'm making sure that I don't just keep clacking off rounds whenever I see the sight return, because that's kind of what I'm inclined to do. Does it fuck? And if so, how hard? It fucks really hard. Like everybody that shoots would be like, wow, this thing fucks. And then most of the discussions like, oh, the price, the this, the that. It's not like the gun itself. It's the wait time. It's the price. It's other nonsense that's not strictly speaking. Do you like the gun or not? Is this the pussy magnet from the Borat movie? No, no, not at all. I don't think I don't think women are going to give a shit that you have this. Probably just think you're a weirdo. All right. Was it worth the car loan? So if I was like, when I was poor Ben in my early 20s, like doing like hardcore, all competitive shooting, and it's like I'm making any sacrifice I have to in my personal life in order to have the stuff I need to do competitive shooting, I would get this if this is the division I wanted to shoot. No questions asked. I would make it happen. It would be worth it to me because if it's the gun, it's the gun. If that's the gun you want to shoot, you got to get that gun. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. So is it worth it in that context? Yes. Now, is it worth it if you're not going to use it hard in that way? I don't know. You're going to spend money on something else that you do care more about. All right. So there you go. I think it went through the questions there. Hopefully you guys find that useful. All right.